Hello everyone. Um, I completely forgot there were August World Championship games scheduled for today. So missed the beginning of this match. It's about to go work out, but then I saw there was BWC going on. So we have AnnIvanova and Hadregion versus I Am Frosty and Liz Izludhego Goroda. And our current score is 2 for Hagridion and 4 for I Am Frosty. These teams seem about evenly matched, so could go either way. So here it seems Anne is fairly safe. Oh, that was definitely a bad move by I Am Frosty. I Am Frosty hung upon there. Looks like Anne probably going in the dark squares. Now Anne has an extra queen to work with. Maybe that could land at c8 potentially. Oh, okay. So, Anne trying to get some initiative here. Maybe bishop out, or just pawn in. Agridion on the defense though. Oh, Izlotego just picked up a free piece with a pin. Agridion probably wants some trades here. Queen's going to be pretty helpful. I think Agridion's going to mate here. I don't think you take this pawn. Just slide over. And I'm going to try to get some initiative. I think you just take with rook. Actually, if you take with rook, there was rook check, knight down. I don't know, but luckily they were up time. There's mate on the right board. Our score now 4-3, favoring I Am Frosty. So this is the challenger section. So I believe it is first to 15, win by 2 condition. There's another match that should be immediately after this. Although one of the players said he might be late. Let me pull up the match that's coming after this, just so you all know what we have in store. So immediately after this match, we should have 918 Evo and Dreyfus 2 versus Barris and Ibrat. Agridion trying to live here. The rook or queen is very good for Izlutego. Instead, he's gonna tempo the queen while his partner tries to feed him some material. Yeah, now the knight defends his bishop. I like this move. Knight defends. You get another thing in. His bishop is also staring down. Alright, knight takes. Probably just take the bishop. This is a surprising move. Gives up a bit of his attack. Maybe you could take the knight, then queen in. Or maybe just get a piece out. Knight out could be reasonable. Bishop out could be reasonable. Okay, he's just going to take a pawn. I think this pawn is free. If knight takes, it undefends the other knight. You can drop a rook at f4 later on. Okay. I like this bishop move. You can potentially just take the knight. If pawn takes, should be safe. But He may be worried. He may try to defend instead. His Lutego is up a reasonable amount of time. Anne is going to need to find a move. Not looking so great for Anne. Anne would like to get a queen to come in here, but it's just not coming. I'm Frosty has a nice attack. Maybe open up the bishop potentially. Or get this other queen going. Even just try to tempo this knight. Try to come in. Probably Lutego is going to stall, let his partner attack. If it would ever be useful, could always take this knight. I mean, knight at f8 might be helpful. He's pinning the knight. His Lutego is going to attack as well. They're attacking on both boards. If bishop takes its mate, so queen trade happened. And that's going to let his Lutego win on his board, so they resigned it. Hadregion says to his partner, I'm sorry, I'm playing like trash, and Anne says, no problem. Alright, our score 5-3, favor and I am Frosty. This a5 move is unusual. Well, I guess he's traded off a rook for a piece. Or did he just hang a rook? Where's the piece? I guess I missed that. So this pawn is hanging, although this pawn would be hanging too. Is Lutego gonna put some pieces around this king, help defend? And attacks the queen. Probably would just retreat this knight, but we'll see what she decides to do. Not so much like that, because now you don't have the square for the knight. Maybe once a pawn for d6, that might be the idea. Or bishop for d6, there's the bishop. Knight can take, and we can take the bishop. And now another bishop could land here to pin the queen. Or you could just play knight takes bishop. Oh, what? I think there's a queen for free. Hadregian's team is now winning this game by a lot. Maybe bring the rook in. Okay, waiting for the pawn. Feasible too. Pieces are great. I still would bring the rook in. He does. Oh, that picks up a free piece. And then a free queen because of this bishop move. So Anne is absolutely crushing. You can push the pawn. Okay, new bishop in. That's reasonable. You can take this pawn. Hadregian, I'm probably going to keep initiative. Just pawn check. And you can even bring the queen in, but you don't need to. There's just so many good moves here. Knight check, pawn up. But Anne gets mate on her board. I score now 5-4, favor and I'm Frosty. I'm gonna jump into the channel here, House Discord, in case anyone wants to co-commentate with me. And Frosty's gonna sack. Like Hadregian is sacked. Here comes old Harry the H-pawn marching up. I think Anne is fairly safe though. C2 is weak. So bishop at C2 would be good. And just gonna try to just keep moving. Hadregion wants some trades. Oh, there's that bishop. Now, knight takes bishop, I assume. And just gonna retreat the bishop. Maybe take in f3. I don't know that this pawn move does anything for her. Arguably puts the king in a better position than before. All these squares are covered. All of a sudden, I Am Frosty has a pretty good attack. Hadregion running out of steam. Probably has to sack his queen. I think Hadregion should have considered bishop takes rook last move. This bishop takes rook would vacate the square for a knight check. Oh, we're getting a match request in for chess. Guy joined the server 52 minutes ago. We're going to go ahead and block him. And then we're going to decline the match request. Go fuck yourself. This is a great time to remind everyone chess.com is 30 years behind the rest of the internet in having the basic technology of having a formula. So you don't get match requests you don't want, and do get match requests you want. There's 30 years. Every other chess site on the internet has had this basic functionality. Okay, so Anne trying to defend. Hadregion attacking, but very vulnerable. When Hadregion's attack fizzles, you know, like knight wins the queen, rook wins the king. Is Lutego probably going to just stall, allow his partner to win with these extra pieces? Queen in with no blocker. This is going to be game over. 20 seconds. Yeah, hey Darlie. Yeah, big time difference there. Our score 6-4, favoring I Am Frosty. His first to 15. Hadregion is playing this rook lift opening, which I don't think is very good. But there is some method to the madness, though. The idea of the rook lift opening is early in the game, rooks aren't very useful. So it usually takes you a while to get your rook out. And on your partner's board, if you trade a rook for, in this case, like a knight or a bishop, and your partner gets to make use of the bishop or knight, well, the rook is probably just going to sit in your partner's opponent's inventory for a while. That's the idea of it. The downside is you weaken some squares a lot. So if a pawn lands on a7, you're threatening promotion, for example. So there's a trade-off involved. So is Lutego can't really take this pawn, or the rook would fall. If you were able to get a rook, though, new rook at f7, then pawn takes, then the rook could take, would be a possibility. Hadregion has a nice attack. New knight in. It's going to be pretty nice. Then he could pick up the rook. And if the king tries to take, then he could play rook takes pawn. Oh, this king does not look happy. Maybe just take this pawn. Okay, he's trying to create like discovered attacks, discovered double checks. Not many places for this king to go. Looking like a nice attack for Hadregion. Oh, queens are traded. That's got to be game over. No way Islotego can survive the queen. On the other hand, they're up about 8 seconds. So Anne needs to survive for 8 seconds. I think just move your bishop, because that will open up these spaces. Rook takes, or queen up, and you can knight check. Okay, queen's coming up. And I think you could sack. Queen takes h3, then pawn check, queen at g3. Gotta lead to mate. But this is now a 15-second time differential. Anne's going to need to survive for 15 seconds. So given that, I don't know if Hadregion will want to sack the queen. Partner's in some trouble. If you think you can survive this, like pawn here would be good. Okay, he's going to take the knight. Oh, okay. It did not take this pawn, so we can't just take the knight for initiative. Knight can come in. I think you should have moved your knight rather than putting a new one in. You'd have an extra knight in your inventory. So could have just moved this knight and then pawn checked and queen in for mate. Actually, I guess this works even better, because if bishop takes, then you can just put queen in for mate. If queen takes, then you take a queen. You still have that maiden threat. The real question is, can Anne live? Answer is probably not. Anne's going to try her best. 0.2 second difference at the end, though. I think Hadregion is a bit of a sack sitter, so it's not the sacking that's getting them in trouble, it's the sit-in. Hadregion needs to stall less. Keep moving. Bishop would be good for Iron Frosty. This is defended. It's fine. And Frosty just gonna keep developing. Hadregion probably wants to sack, but now this is defended by the knight. Maybe pawn at g6. Well, there is no pawn right now, but okay. It's gonna try to take out this knight first. Is Lutego attacking on the light squares? Hadregion's in 1800s, so I don't think he knows how to defend. He just knows how to attack. Of course, he's sacking. His king is not happy, though. There is a possible bishop takes pawn, and then new knight at g4. Looks very good for Lutego. Oh, the bishop takes rook was definitely a blunder. He had mate with bishop takes. Now Hadregion gets to attack. He could take this twice, or he could try to get something to come in. Eventually, probably gonna have to defend. There's still this bishop move as a threat. I don't know why this bishop moved this way. Like, the king is over here. This is the king. Huge blunder by Lutego. In the meantime, I am Frosty. Continues to trade pieces. So, probably should try to take a rook for his partner. Oh, all of a sudden, Hadregion has a nice attack. Oh, we're getting in a 10-minute challenge. Let's go over to this guy's profile. We're going to go ahead and block him. We're going to decline the match request. Go fuck yourself. This is a great time to remind everyone that chess.com is 30 years behind the rest of the internet, and allowing players to set a formula so they don't get random match requests from assholes they don't want. All right. Oh, pawn mates for Hadregion. Hadregion down a boatload of time though, because he is slow. Knight is gonna mate. There it is. I scored now 8-4, favor an I Am Frosty. Hadregion needs to stop with this accident and start moving more. Hadregion again has sacked the rook for a piece. And again, we see the idea on the left board. This bishop is useful. This rook is not useful. Rooks are more useful in the endgame. This bishop is gonna hang. Okay. Well, maybe we could take the knight. Seems like a free dude. Assuming partner can hold a rook, because knight check rook in would be mate. And could just move the king if worried about this sort of thing. We see a huge piece discrepancy. I'm Frosty has a lot of extra pieces to work with. Again, this is, I think, because Hadregion is a sack sitter. I'm Frosty's team is up like 3 seconds. They can take a queen whenever it would be useful. Trying to use this pressure. So push pawn is a possibility. Queen takes bishop, possibility. Hadregion has started to move. Now I gotta watch out for this threat. This also attacks the rook, by the way. But yeah, I would consider just taking the queen if I'm Hadregion. Wait, what? That's a free bishop. Why did we not take the free bishop? There's a pin. Oh, Iron Frosty misses a free bishop. And this is probably because his partner is sitting, which puts pressure on Iron Frosty to move instantly instead of finding the good moves. Knight can come up here. Oh, okay, queen's coming in. Here comes the rook. Knight takes pawn as a possibility. Oh, knight can come up. Now a rook mates. Rook still mates. Queen comes in. Bishop check. So if Anne doesn't mate, then she's dead. And Anne runs out of time. Again, the big problem for Hadregion's team is Hadregion keeps saxing, and they get down massive amounts of time. Okay. Let's ban this guy. And Frosty is sacked. There's the knight in. He might sack again. Nope, he's just gonna get his pieces in better places. Has a looming threat of rook or queen in, and he's going to continue to develop in the interim. Sacks again. Bishop check. Okay. Maybe he wants to get the queen in on e2. Castle. Oh, gotta watch out for this knight, I guess. Whoa. That's a lot of trades. Anne gonna sack, get the knight in. This should be mate for Anne. Queen check. On push. Queen up is mate. That's mate. Yeah, actually my way was not mate in one, but found mate in one. Great job. Score now 9-5. Favor and I am Frosty. So Anne retreats. And Frosty picks up a piece by removing the defender. And Frosty definitely on the attack here. Hadregion on the attack as well. Hadregion needs to defend. Has to give up some material while defending. Anne wants to trade for her partner. Very nice move. Queen in should be mate. Oh, okay. Instead of checkmate in one, we're gonna continue to make moves here. Let's get these pieces in the game. So Anne is actually up on time. Rook should mate for Anne. Well, Rook does mate for Anne. Mate in one. There was a rook right there. Partner didn't take it. That partner. Maybe you could push the pawn, potentially. Time was fairly close, but there was mate on the right board. Mate probably coming soon on the left board. Now we have 9-6, favor and I'm Frosty. First to 15. And hangs a pawn. But does get this nice rook file. Knight comes in, exploiting the pin. So if bishop takes, maybe pawn at c7, threatening promotion or a knight could be possible. Hadregion is gonna attack. Maybe rook at g3. Okay. So Hadregion picked up a tempo. And running out of pieces, and is down on time. Hadregion should consider stalling to let his partner get a bit safer. We're probably going to see knight come in. Oh, okay, bishop. Interesting. These rooks are lined up. So if you go for f3 shenanigans, eventually we might get rook takes g7. I think Islo Taigo should consider defending instead of attacking. Like maybe knight at h5, attack the rook, defend the pawn, potentially. Or you could just push the pawn, let the queen defend. But this is a boatload of pieces. Okay, he's going all in. They are attacking a bunch. Pawn is vulnerable now. And wants a pawn. A pawn is pretty devastating. They are down 10 seconds. Is not going to come. So you could just drop a bishop at e2, which would perma I am Frosty. By perma, we mean that there's no way of getting out this mate threat. On the other hand, I am Frosty has a significant amount of time to attack or defend. So 4 seconds, a lot can happen in 4 seconds. Could liquidate these pieces. I don't like the defendant. I think should have attacked. This rook takes pawn. Threaten rook at c7. Now you can take either rook. Takes the attacking rook. Makes a lot of sense. Hey, 4Player Chess. Thank you so much for the subscription with Prime. Really appreciate it. Let's give you a shout out. So Luke, what is going on in the 4Player Chess world? Do we have any world championships coming up here? And trying to hold on. Okay, so Anne runs out of time. Again, this Hadregion tends to sax it and play a bit slow, and it keeps coming back to bite them. They keep getting down 15 seconds. They really need to speed it up. World 4Player Chess Championship FFA arena playing right now. So when you say FFA, what is the time control? Is this a rapid time control or a bullet time control? 1-5. Okay. Yeah, so that should be plenty of time to think. Oh, this is modern. Okay. And by modern, this is atomic setup. Interesting. Let me check out this article. So by the way, the players have asked for a brief break. I am Frosty needs to return a call. Okay, so let's see. So this weekend, we have 8 3-hour-long arenas going on, looks like, for 4Player Chess. And then next weekend, March 29th and 30th, we have round 1 and round 2. And the finals April 5th through 6th. Very exciting. Looks cool. Yeah, Luke, let me know when you get later into that. I would like to help watch and commentate. Hey, Planet Chess Club. How are you doing? Good to see you. Give Planet Chess Club a shout out. Luke, maybe I should try to cover some of those arenas. I have a few things I need to get done today. I was actually about to work out when I noticed this was coming on. But if there's arenas going on tomorrow too, maybe I can cover some of those. Not that I know very much about atomics, and I'm bit rusty at 4-player chess, but even if I'm just watching, rather than providing much commentary, I think it still would be good to draw more attention to the game. Okay, well, that forks a piece. And get a free piece. Maybe bishop back could be a thing. Or you could just take the rook. Okay. Makes a threat against the queen. This makes sense. Also defends the pawn. We could take this guy. Oh, he takes the rook first. Or she takes the rook first. Well, that is adventurous. This seems like a free dude. Now there's a threat. Yeah, knight takes. He could take the queen with check. And then queen takes pawn, possibly. Okay, instead we're gonna bishop check from afar. Still have queen takes pawn. Now queen takes pawn leads to mate. This second rook was excessive, could just move the rook. There's also CCCC. What is CCCC? I don't know what that means. So yeah, 4-player chess. Hadregion has been playing this rook lift opening a lot. Not this game, I guess, but Hadregion often will like move the pawn up, lift the rook and rook in the center, and then trade it for a bishop or knight. So it did start off as a bit of a meme opening. There's a player named True Player who plays this a lot. Does the rook lift. And upon analysis, that this is kind of similar to what Brendan Jacobson, Visu, who was banned as a GM for sacking his rook and just beating up Danya in chess. Similar analysis where the rook is not very useful early in the game, and the bishop is useful early in the game. So with the earlier sack of the exchange, it basically allows you to put more pressure early in the game, and you basically hope that by the time you get to the end game, it doesn't matter so much. This is even more apparent in Bughouse because like there is no end game in Bughouse. So in Bughouse, what you're doing is on your board, you're trading a rook that's pretty useless in the beginning in the first, like 20 moves for a piece that's useful from your opponent. And on the other board, your partner's opponent will have a rook to drop, which is pretty useless in the beginning. And your partner will have a different piece to drop, which is relatively useful in the beginning. So it's actually not that bad of an opening to sack the rook. The bigger problem with the rook lift, in my opinion at least, is it creates a hole in your position where a pawn can come in and potentially promote. So if you lift the h rook, for example, then nothing prevents a pawn from coming in on an h2, tempoing the knight, and potentially promoting the next move. On the other hand, if your opponents don't seem to be exploiting that, or getting their knights in the game, I'm sorry, getting their pawns in like that, then you're not punished at all. Yeah, I think, in my opinion, it's absolutely ridiculous that Brendan Jacobson is banned. So I've known Brendan since he was, I think, 10 years old, but maybe 12 years old, something like that. So I go to the World Open chess tournament pretty much every year. Planet Chess Club, who's in the chat, also goes to World Open. He's played a lot with Brendan. So Brendan would come and play Bughouse with us, like every year at the World Open. So yeah, Planet Chess Club. This is a big controversy. Let me find it for you. I'm gonna put something in the chat for you all. Okay. So here's a Reddit like AMA from Brendan Jacobson. And he says, "Hey, it's me. I defeated Brendan Jacobson, or sorry, I defeated Danya, and I got banned." Um, so yeah, he played this troll opening where he would lift his rook and sack the exchange, and then he was playing against Danya, who's one of the best blitz players in the world, and he was crushing Danya with this opening. And so chess.com basically decided, even though he was the GM, labeled as a GM, he wasn't like an undercover GM, like he had the GM title. Um, but people didn't know like which GM he was. So even though he was a GM, chess.com decided if you can sack your rook every game and beat Danya, you must be using a computer. So he was banned for computer cheating. And he's appealed like a bunch of times, but basically chess.com isn't budging. Danya himself does not think Brendan was computer cheating. So Brendan, he also streams. He took a long break from streaming. He's trying to get back into it. But Brendan, I mean, he still regularly plays Danya. They just have to play on Lichess because Brendan can't play on chess.com. Danya has no problems with Brendan, but chess.com has problems with Brendan. I mean, this is one of the problems with the fair play team, in my opinion, is they think they're omnipotent. They think that, like, they're not willing to budge. Like, if they think you're cheating, they won't take any evidence to the contrary. Does he plays on Lichess now? Does he play the Saka Rook opening? Um, I don't know the answer to that. I mean, he doesn't play it all the time. Um, I think he's played it on occasion. Um, but I'm not sure. I guess I should shout out Brendan as well. Brendan Brendan has a Twitch. He's actually partnered on Twitch. Uh, he's one of those guys who got partnered like his first month streaming, because he's like, I'm a great GM, and chess.com, back in the day, several years ago, put their full support behind him, so he got partnered pretty quickly. He doesn't stream very often, but he's trying to get back into it. With whom are we in bed? Yeah, chess.com. Yeah, Planet Chess Club, you and I have discussed some problems with chess.com. Right now, chess.com is okay. This bishop's being attacked. Chess.com is like the place to play Bughouse, so that's why I partner with chess.com. Chess.com also has donated some money to this tournament. Not as much as previous years, but we still really appreciate their generosity. So this tournament I'm covering right now, chess.com has put $2,500 into the prize pool, which is pretty much the whole prize pool, which encourages more people to play Bughouse, and that's great. So yeah, I don't agree with everything chess.com does, but still, overall, I work with chess.com and support chess.com. Switch to Bug then? Yeah. Bug is where it's at. Planet Chess Hub, we got a partner sometime. It's been a while. So, by the way, score update. Our score is 11-8, Favor and I Am Frosty, and it is first to 15. Our second match of the day should actually be starting right now, but one of the players said he was going to run late anyway, so that's probably going to work out for us. This match is going to take, another 20-30 minutes or so. Dealing with life things. Yeah, I get it. That hangs the knight. Although now a knight could win a queen. Yeah, I haven't been streaming as often as I would like. I have more free time now than I used to, but I'm still catching up with a few things. Agridion on the attack. Islutego seems to have a pretty safe king. I think we're going to see a rook trade. I guess not. Maybe knight can land here. Right now this knight covers d6. Knight would be good for Anne. Anne's just going to continue to pound the light squares. Oh, maybe knight check. Pawn wins a queen. Rook wins a queen. But Anne may need to defend. Anne is down some time. So maybe we... Oh, I don't know about this move. Okay. Yeah, I'm Frosty going to try to get rid of this rook. Oh, rook takes pawn seems possible now. You don't have to lose the rook for nothing. Bishop's move backwards. Pro tip. Oh, okay. Hadregion has a nice attack now. I would just retreat the rook. Okay. Another option, I guess. Now this rook is kind of out of the action. Time is equalized. His Lutego does not have a happy king. This bishop wasn't even necessary. You could just push the pawn. I score 11-9, favoring I Am Frosty. Yeah, great to have you on Planet Chess Club. Yeah, generally I stream at night, but I'm streaming whenever I can to catch the players who are playing Bughouse World Championship. Oh, knight check. You get to pick up a pawn for our troubles. And probably another pawn too, because you're tempoing the queen. I'd play just knight takes e6. Maybe he's waiting for a bishop. You know, bishop would be fantastic, but I would just take the pawn instead of waiting. Here's another pawn for your troubles. Tempo the queen. This is an interesting move. I would just take the queen. Okay, taking the queen with check, even better. Taking the queen with check. And, alright, gives up the knight. Seems fine. Take with queen, I think. Hadregion going to continue to attack. Maybe rook at c1. Or rook at e1. Okay, going to go after the light squares. This bishop has a dual purpose, though. We could sack the bishop. I think that's worth doing. Bishop takes b7. And you have two choices. You could play bishop at f3 and trade them off, or you could play bishop at a6. Bishop at a6 seems stronger. If king up, you can bring the queen up. King down, you have knight check. And this is mate. My score now 12-9, favoring I Am Frosty. Planet Chess Club and Luke, there was a stream, was it yesterday? I think it was Thursday. There's a stream Thursday called thestateofchess.com where Danny Wrench was spending 3 hours going over new chess.com features, answering questions. And I always take the option to throw in a hashtag free Brendan to support my friend. But yeah, they are not unbanning Brennan. A lot of the people who've been wronged by chess.com kind of stick together. So, for example, the infamous Hans Niemann, Brendan has done some commentary for him. Oh, knight check. It's going to be good. done some commentary when he has over the board matches. Again, I would just take this pawn. You also have pawn takes here. This is good. Now pawn is very nice. Or bishop. There's bishop. Bishop check. Bishop takes pawn. So now a pawn or bishop mates. Potentially have a check. You also have just knight takes, this type of thing. And maybe that's not so good. Bishop up would be an option. Hadregion gonna need to find something to do. Maybe knight in. Actually, this is now is even better. Knight takes pawn and queen up. I guess it's gonna probably cash out, take the queen. I think knight takes pawn was an amazing move, last move. If knight takes, you had the queen up, led to mate. Hadregion, always the sack sitter, is going to wait it out. Here you could bring the bishop back. It takes pawn. Here, there's a ton of good moves. So we see why Hadregion always gets down a ton of time. Instead of playing, you know, lots of obvious moves, lets his clock run down. You could go queen up, exploit the pin. You could go after the queen. He just develops a bishop. That's reasonable too. So rook coming in here, or rook here. Okay, knight check. Bishop check made more sense there. I think he could have taken that. I don't see why we're not taking that. Now it's not going to go so well for him. Oh, it looks like Anne has mate. Lower score 12-2. Favoring I Am Frosty. I Am Frosty getting very aggressive, pushing this H pawn. You just leave that knight there if you want to get the rook involved. But he retreats the knight. Queen is tempoed, rook mates. Oh, also free queen. It's nice as well. Oh, knight mates on this board for Is the Jago. This knight can't take the rook or you're mated. Maybe bishop up. And that's what we're doing. Gotta save the knight. Bishop. Okay, now we have a dual threat. Hadregion needs to defend. Unfortunately, knight still mates. Oh, that's a mate in one threat. If you take the knight, then Anne will mate first. All of a sudden, they're up time. A nice defense from Anne. I think you take this guy. Oh, okay. Take the pawn, then knight mates. You actually have knight takes pawn to use your own knight. Oh, somehow Hadregion moved into mate. They're up 1 second though. Pawn mates. Alright. Defend. Defend. Hadregion needs to defend. Alright, now knight takes pawn. Exciting game. Knight takes pawn. Crushing. Whoa, why up? We're fine coming down. Oh god. This is not so good. And did not see the maiden attack. And now they are going to lose. So now they're down 6 seconds. Izutego could move here. Just take the pawn, something like that. Or bishop check. Now a knight would mate, I think. Bishop check if king over. Knight at f5 mates. Don't really understand this pawn move. Creates weaknesses. What? Oh. Well, this is defended now. What a wild game. And Anne gets the mate. A wild game. Izutego probably had mate at the end. Yeah, and that was... Well, I guess Anne had a mate much earlier. That game went back and forth a lot. You can't cut off the bishop. So this knight in. Probably pawn at c3 could be a good move. And just trades. Why retreat the bishop? That's such an odd move. Okay, go in after f2. I assume we're taking that. Another knight would be good. We might trade the world. Okay, another knight is good, or a rook. Hadregion seems to have a pretty safe king. Oh, we're getting a match request at 15:10. Let's go over here, check out this guy's profile. I joined today, an hour ago. We're gonna go ahead and block him. Decline match request. Go fuck yourself. It's a great time to remind everyone that chess.com is 30 years behind the rest of the internet. That is not an exaggeration. 30 years ago, every other chess site on the internet had the ability to screen match requests by whatever you want, by your preferences. So the ability to set a formula. WhatChess.com is 30 years behind every other chess site on the internet. So I have to get match requests for games I don't play from people who just joined the site an hour ago. Alright, back to our scheduled game. You get a mate from Hadregion exploiting the pin. See, the Truth ICC, I assume, is from ICC, Internet Chess Club. So he knows. He was around. So Izlutego has sacked. Hadregion. I think his king is safe enough. And Hadregion sacks. Queen could come in, potentially. He probably wants a bishop. Okay, this is a nice move. Picks up some material. Queen could still come in. Still wants a bishop. This knight check doesn't work as bishop guards. Utilizes his existing pawn. Keeps the pieces for his attack. ICC is still the GOAT. I didn't play that much on ICC. I was a member there for like a year. I tried playing Bughouse on ICC, but I realized a lot more Bughouse on Fix. So there's no need. Yeah, Planet Chess Club, technically you have a console on chess.com. So if you click the new game tab, then on the bottom left, there is a little icon. You can click that and it pulls up the console. Yeah, not as good of a console for sure. I don't know. I like chess.com better than the free internet chess server as far as the internet, as far as the interface in general, because I really like the fact that I can walk up to any computer and pull up a web browser and use it instantly. Whereas for ICC and the free internet chess server, you needed to download an interface, which meant if you're traveling or trying to play at a friend's house, it was much less convenient. Lichess is, as it's uses to, Lichess is the better place right now to play Crazy House. Their analysis is much better than chess.com. But on the other hand, chess.com is just put in so much extra effort into development versus other websites. So you potentially play knight takes. We'd see a check. Queen takes. If knight takes, we take rook. Oh, okay. I like this move a lot. That's a nice find. We can get this scary knight out of here. I like it. Oh, ICC has an online interface? Oh, interesting. I haven't checked out ICC in many years. Oh, I'm Frosty is a really nice attack. And they're up 5 seconds. So, okay, knight in is good. Just put a pawn there. Time has equalized. Oh, there's a queen. That queen's going to be very useful. I don't think Anne can live through this. On the other hand, this is a pretty nice attack from Hadregion. But Anne runs out of time. It's just impossible to defend down a queen over there. Truth ICC says, you RMG, Erodian, Hikaru. Truth ICC, I assume you know that RMG streams. He doesn't stream that often, but he has a Twitch. Do you follow him on Twitch? Yeah, Fix was definitely the place for Bug. Oh, we got a match request coming in for 10-minute chess, which I've never played in my life. I just joined 4 days ago. Let's go over here to his account. I'm going to go ahead and block him. I'm going to decline the match request. Go fuck yourself. Truth ICC, known Jason for 35 years. Yeah, no, but my question was, do you know that he streams on Twitch? Are you following his Twitch? But yeah, I first, I mean, I knew RMG from online, but I also met him in person at the Chicago Open 2002, I believe. Um, a whole bunch of us went there, stayed with Todd MF. Um, so, like free lodging at his parents' house. And we just went to the tournament, played a bunch of Bug House. Um, but one of the players there was Ghost Shell, um, old school, um, old school Bug House player named Eric Wiggins, and Ghost Shell played in the tournament and he won. I think he was playing. I forget if it was under 2200, under 2000, something like that. But he won. Um, and then he took us all out for dinner. Like we went to like a fancy restaurant and like a steakhouse or something. And I was like, oh, delicious food. I was ready to pay for it. And he's like, no, no, no. I just won the tournament. So he picked up everyone's checks. Super nice guy. Oh, knew Eric as well. Nice. Were you from the Dallas area then? Oh, you're one of his mods. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if Eric still plays. Oh, you're from Chicago. Okay. So you probably know Todd better then. Yeah, unfortunately, Todd has mostly disappeared from the face of the earth. He occasionally pops up in random streams, not Bughouse streams, but chess streams. Todd is one of the most interesting stories. For those of you who don't know Todd, um, Todd played a ton of Bullet and a lot of Bughouse. And Todd went to college for computer science, then went to grad school for computer science. And then I think either in grad school or right after grad school, Todd played in a chess tournament. I think it was in Minnesota, something like that, which was like a big money chess tournament. They were trying to get more people interested in chess. So it was called the Millionaire Tournament, something like that. And Todd had only played online, so his rating was super, super low. His over the board rating. But he played chess constantly. So he played in the under 1400 section and just swept it. He won every single game. 9 out of 9. And he won $30,000 for that. And the tournament director, Bill Gorchberg, who runs all the big tournaments, he looked Todd up online and he put a floor on him of 2,000. So he was not allowed to enter any section like under 2,000 and win any prize money after that. Yeah, Minnesota. Hey, the 7th. Welcome in. This is match point, by the way. Our score 14-12. Favor and I am Frosty. So anyway, after Todd won that tournament, this is when internet poker was starting up. I think you trade the queen for 2 pieces here. Oh, he doesn't. Okay. So he was getting into, oh, nice. Making some threats. He probably wants a pawn check, pawn promote. It's going to be nice. Or you could just take the queen with initiative. Oh yeah, now you... Okay. Then this queen can take. I think you take this anyway. Or queen f5. Looks good. Anyway, you got into internet poker. This was when all the poker websites were trying to get everyone to play, so they gave lots of bonuses. Todd didn't know how to play poker. Oh, this is a free pawn. Oh, this works too. Queen takes. That's mate. Our score now 14-13. By the way, there's a win by 2 condition, which might come into play. It's not come into play yet, but it might. So yeah, he started playing internet poker, and these sites would give you bonuses for signing up. Like if you put in $100, they would give you 150. But you had to play a certain number of hands before you could take it out. So this was something called, and I quote, bonus horn. And he played that a bunch. He turned his 30,000 into 200,000 playing poker. And then he discovered sports betting. And Todd did sports betting for a year with arbitrage, where he would find 2 different websites with different money lines. So, one of them would be, I don't know, Duke versus Villanova with Duke +3. Another would be Duke versus Villanova with Duke +1. And he would bet both sides of the bet. So most of the time it would be a wash. You'd win one and lose one. But if you were right between those two bets, so if the score ended up with Duke +2, then he'd win both bets. That's basically zero risk. And he did this for a year, and he turned $200,000 into $2 million. And Todd retired, which is one of the coolest stories I know about, finding free money. And the reason he retired, by the way, was because Black Friday happened, where internet gambling was banned in the US, and it became very hard to get your money out. Okay, so this is still match point. If I Am Frosty wins this match, then the match is over. If the other team wins, then the match will keep going. So Hadregion has 2 ways to attack here. Hadregion going to defend instead. Yeah, I had to take with king. If you took with queen, there would have been a check. Stratego trying to get some initiative here. It looks like a bishop is probably coming. So he wants bishop at f2, I assume. Oh, knight. This is interesting. I think knight takes h3, knight takes bishop. Seems reasonable. Now you gotta watch out for this. Stratego actually down a little bit of time. He's pushing. If we take, we have discovered check from the rook. e7, a little bit weak. We keep going. And is attacking. Queen has been tempoed. And coming in on the dark squares. Okay, queen trying to come in over here. Hadregion on the attack, giving some material though. Oh, I can get the queen involved, potentially. Something could land on d3. Oh, but it didn't. Now bishop mates. They're down time though. If Ann can take a bishop, then they just win the game. But I'm Frosty probably gonna stall here. This is the problem with Saxon. This is a nice move. Wins a free knight. Now is Lutego on the attack. 2 pawns mates for Anne. I'm Frosty getting safer. This king is not happy. This should be an easy win for I'm Frosty. Defend and attack at the same time. I assume we do like bishop. Ooh, wow, I thought he would lure the king out and then queen takes. That's a free queen. Okay, that's mate. Our score 15-13. I think that's GG's. So congrats to the players. I'm gonna put the final score in the chat. Very close match. All right. The next question is, has the next match started yet? Let's check. We're looking for Hi Brat. Looks like it hasn't started yet. And there is some chat over here. I'm gonna actually check the chat. We're gonna see what's going on here. Okay, so they're trying to reschedule 1 hour, so I think it'll be a half an hour from now will be the match, the next match. So we're going to look for someone to raid. Let's check the chess category. See who's streaming. If anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. Planet Chess Club, do you have any friends streaming that you would recommend? Let's see. I don't recognize most of these people. I guess Bullet Brawl going on right now. Oh, check it. Nice. So the people I recognize, I see Lily, I see Alexandra, I see Lonely Winter, I see Chess Dojo. I think Chess Dojo is a possibility. Raid Chess Dojo. Oh, Planet Chess Club recommending Alexandra. We can do that. Let's send you guys to Alexandra. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Really appreciate it. We're probably going to start another stream in half hour or so to cover another match. And at some point I would like to go work out. I'm in my workout clothes. I was all ready to work out when I saw this was happening. So we'll see. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. Hopefully you can join me watching other matches later. Bye, everyone.